Alright, and hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we are back for some more of the Twilight Princess HD Let's Play. And if you did miss out during the last one, well, we have went and returned back over here to Death Bounty, because now we're going to have to go and do a little bit of a sumo battle with the Elder Goron that's going to be here. Now, as you guys go and see, unfortunately, I don't really have the iron boots fully prepped onto Link out here at this point in time, so we have to go and redo that again, and this time bring around with the iron boots. I don't know if they actually allow you to use the iron boots like right when you go and start up within this battle, but it's always a good thing that you may probably want to just set it up before you go and do ahead within the Elder Goron battle, just so that you don't really have to worry about having to literally re-attempt that again. But this guy can be a little bit of a difficult challenge if you have never really went out of your way to do too much of the sumo practicing. But I know that over time, for me, I know that when I went and first played throughout the Twilight Princess game and doing the sumo stuff, it was a little bit of a challenge for myself. But you know what, over time I went and got like really better within everything of this Elder Goron situation, and even with Mayor Bo as well. So I think right now we should almost about to be I want to say fairly close to knocking off with the Elder Goron here. And once we go ahead and do so, the Goron Mines will finally be opened up to us, and we will finally be able to go and reach off into the next dungeon for what that needs to be happening. Now, if you guys do want to know about what the next item is going to be showcasing within the Goron Mines, well, the Hero's Bow is going to be something that we're going to be needing. Now, we are going to be meeting up with the certain BMOS characters that are going to be showing up within this game, because we're finally going to be meeting up with BMOSes at some point here, and we may probably need to go and at least use the arrows within our way to make sure that they get stunned. And unfortunately for us, we have the, the slingshot, and the slingshot doesn't really do anything on those guys, because even if you want to try and even meet up with the BMOS to try to shoot anything at his eyeball there, it's really not going to do any type of damage. So the Hero's Bow is the main thing that we do need. We're going to have to go and do a little bit of a mini-boss battle, which I think that will be happening in the next episode. We're not going to be going and taking care of him, but there is a mini-boss within this way, kind of like what happened before with the Forest Temple. But this time around, it is going to be a Goron that we're going to have to use the iron boots for. Now that same type of mini boss battle with the Goron is almost somewhat in a way of how Wind Waker was all about, because if you guys remember, there was a time in Wind Waker where I believe there was a certain Goron battle that you did have to do before, so that kind of has a little bit of some a type of reference within there. Now, within these two videos for today, not only are we going to just be doing out here with, of course, of Twilight Princess HD and heading on into the Goron Mines and everything, but we are, of course, going to have to go and do some more of the Yokai Watch 3. At this point in time, I want to say that right now in Yokai Watch 3, we did go about our very first Yokai boss battle in that game, which that was with Junkernaut. A little bit of an easy battle, if I have to say so myself. If you're not fully prepped up within the battle, that could be a little bit of a challenge, but I know that our yokais, we've already trained them all the way up to level 5, and that was basically what we do need. That is the recommended level for that. So here it is. This is where I think we're going to start getting into almost into the next big main part of Goron Mines here. And once we go and open up with this door, we should at least be able to see that there's going to be some of the magnet rises that are going to be showing up around within here. Now, unfortunately, we do not have anything to go and turn on the switches just yet for the magnet things to be moving around at this point in time. So we'll have to find another way around out here so that we can go ahead and open those guys up later. So yeah, so for example, we got these guys here. They're not fully activated at this point in time, but there's going to be quite a bit of some heart pieces. I want to say there is going to be 2 that we're going to have to go and use within our iron boots to do some magnet walking around. Now, this part can be a little bit tricky within the Goron Mines because once you go and head upside down within the next couple of areas to go and find out where one of the heart pieces is, you're going to have a little bit of a tough time on trying to move around with the controls. And even here on the Wii U, which I was actually doing some practice recording with here, and with the post-production that I was having to do, was very annoying, if I have to say so. A little bit more worse than what the GameCube version was. So here we are. Now we're in this particular part right here. Now, just remind yourself that here in this one particular segment of this area right now is that we are going to have to do some iron boot type of pulling around with some of the different chains. Now that's actually become somewhat of of a factor that's going to happen within our way of the main boss itself with Virus. And Virus is basically the fused shadow creature that we have to go and battle. Basically, if you guys don't know about the story or the lore about what's going on in Twilight Princess, well, basically Darpus is a Goron that went on into the Goron Mines, and we have to go and look for him. And unfortunately, I guess during his travels, I guess he turned into a fused creature, became Virus, and we have to do a battle with him. And basically, for what that battle needs to entail is that you have to go and pull on his chains, if I'm not mistaken, and that will actually create somewhat of a stunning factor, and then you can go in for the knockout hits, and you should be able to at least get some damage alongside with them. And I think that's when the hero bow is going to be coming into play, because we'll have to shoot the eyeball as well too in the process. So here are some new enemies. These are the Dodongos. Of course, there's gonna have to be some Dodongos anytime whenever we show up into our Goron type of level, right? We went and saw that before in Ocarina of Time with the Dodongos Cavern, because the Dodongos were taken over within their cave that was going on around with where the Gorons are at. Now, there is going to be another segment here just like this, but we're going to become as Wolf-Link later, and that's going to be happening within the Gerudo Desert. But we're going to have to remind ourselves for that later. And I want to say that being Wolf-Link and trying to do that chain puzzle, just like how we did here with Link, is going to be a little bit more of a challenge, because sometimes that door can actually be a little bit faster than what Wolf-Link can actually be, so we have to be a little bit careful on that. But here's our very first time that we are going to be learning on how the tutorial of the upside down magnet boots are going to be. So once we go and attach ourselves over here, we got a little bit of some magnet rise, and now we can just try to at least move around with the controls while everything's inverted. You know, we played a little bit of Mario Galaxy here on the channel. We should at least be able to know about how the inverted control somewhat kind of works around within a way of a certain game like that. Now, make sure that you always go and talk to all the different elders that are going to be here within each of the different areas, because I believe that will actually give us the key for what we need to be able to open up with the boss key, I think, right? So we just need to make sure that we grab all these different key shards, and we should be good. I remember when I went and first played through the GameCube version of the Goron Mines, I never even went and even spoke on to all of these elders, because all I wanted to do was just make sure that I just fly on by throughout this whole entire area and not really grab the boss key. And I didn't realize that the boss key, I believe, that was meant for the key shards that were all attached within each other there. So that was my own fault. But now, over time, I do know now that I have to make sure to go and talk to these Elder Gorons, so don't really want to have to do any more backtracking than it actually has to be, right? Less backtracking means better enough time for us to at least get this dungeon finished and done with. So, of course, in every other type of dungeon, there is always going to be an Uku, so Uku is going to finally be making its appearance here as well, too, in the process. And there we go. And I think our many first heart pieces is going to be here pretty soon. It's not going to be in this room entirely, but that will happen in another room right after. This room is just kind of another little tutorial base-wise that we are going to have to do some sideway walking as well, with some enemies kind of in the way of some stuff. Now, these guys are going to be really annoying. You guys may probably remember these type of guys from before. I think these are also Ocarina of Time enemies as well. They normally kind of like to hang up on top of ceilings and other things and fall down on you and basically cause up a lot of annoyances around, which that is what is going to be happening here. Now, there is one particular pathway that is right around in this area that you want to make sure, because I believe to go and search for the heart piece is actually on like the way far left hand side. So you want to go and like somewhere walk into the left side, and you should be able to see that there is going to be a heart piece right here, and that is going to be the first one. So pretty nice on that. And then I believe you have to go to the right hand side. That will take you to the actual way of where we need to go to next. Now, this area should at least now be able to go and open up our way to opening up with the different magnets that are going to be able to move around, and we can finally be able to go and head upside down on them, and it should be able to take us right to where we need to go to for the next thing that is going to be important to us. So let's just keep on going and heading on down from here and knocking out some more of these Boblins. These guys are really no type of problem at all whatsoever. These guys are very easy to go and get themselves destroyed. Because, like, look how well that we're doing right now. We're already just knocking all these guys left and right, and we're all set. Now, I did hear some good news that apparently in June we are going to be getting a Nintendo Direct for 2024. It seems like the president of Nintendo of Japan, I want to say Furukawa or someone, I think that's what his name, I forget what his name is. I believe he went and actually talked about that that there is a Nintendo Direct coming. Unfortunately, there's nothing to be said about within the Nintendo Switch 2, though, unfortunately. But you know what? This is going to be a great way to hopefully try to finish off with all the different Nintendo Switch games for this year. And I think it would be really cool to go and see what type of games are going to be showing up for the 2024 last bit of for what's going on. Because I want to see what type of holiday games are going to be making its way into there. I know that we just kind of heard about with Rainbow Curse going to be showing up within a rumored game, which that's what Nintendo has filed for a trademark for, so pretty cool on that. I know that the Nintendo Championship NES Edition is going to be coming out in the June time of 2024. So basically it's like NES Remix in a way, but it's just that there's a little bit of some different type of things to it though. I believe you can actually play with a lot of different friends on the actual NES Championship to like have like the best type of score type of time on like different little set of levels that will happen within there. I may probably actually get that game. I don't know. I do have NES Remix and I know that that game was really fun, so I may probably be interested on it. But we'll see what happens there. Yeah, this area is a little bit annoying. There is a lot of these tech types that are showing up, so we want to make sure that we just knock these guys out. Now, the annoying thing is that even if you go and fall into the water here, these type of columns that normally are kind of just standing up like from the water, you should be at least be able to like go up top of them. Apparently, those columns are not allowed to. You have to jump on them instead of actually trying to grab on top onto them. So we do have the small key though. And I think we should at least be able to now go and move and head over here to this area. This is where you kind of have to go and move around with the block. And this should now go and take us to the next magnet spot and lead us right into where that, to where one of the switches are going to be for the door to get opened up. And I think there's going to be a couple of times where I think we are going to have to see a switch that we're going to have to open up within our way of actually striking it with our sword, or we'll probably have to use our bow and arrow for it. So we'll just do this for right now. And there we go, and I think we're all set on that way. And now we can go and start walking all the way down over here. And this is where timing has to be a very big factor in this one, because for this one here is that you want to use your iron boost to hit this switch, but while doing so, this whole magnet thing is going to actually create it going into a into somewhat of a horizontal direction. So you kind of want to make sure that that you try to line this up perfectly, because I remember before when going into this type of particular segment, I always kind of didn't really have like the best of type of way of actually adjusting this properly. But there we go, we got it. And if you guys don't know, this is basically a reboot of my original series that I went and did before of Twilight Princess. I just didn't really like the way of how the original series was, but I'm glad that we're coming back here and playing this in the HD version of all stuff and playing this on the Wii U, so I'm glad to be able to experience this on the Wii U. I never actually was able to go and experience too much of this on the Wii U, so it's good to go and come back to this again. Alright, so there we go. And I wouldn't mind actually trying out the amiibo thing as well within the time of this game, because I know that with having Wolf Link amiibo, there is some special stuff that you can't go and do, such as getting an extra little area. I believe you could do some exploring with. Alright, so here we are. So now we're in this part. Now I believe this is kind of another area that we're going to probably have to do some backtracking with later. I believe there is a thing that we're going to probably need a bow and arrow for, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think we could go and do too much around for right now, just except just to head through another particular portion and just head on through there for now. So yeah, there's nothing really going on here at this point. I don't know, was that a chest down there for what I saw? Yeah, there is a chest down there, huh? Never even realized that there was actually a chest all the way down at that very far bottom. I wonder if that's like probably just a like an extra like rupee type of chest or something. Well, maybe when I do come back to it at some point when I have the option to go and use those magnets there. We'll see what happens. Alright, so here we are. This is the other door that we do need to open up from our way. And this is where the Iron Boots is going to have to come into play once again. And this time, however, we're going to have to make sure that that big, huge platform that's getting spun around, that's where we need to use our Iron Boots to go and use, just to make sure that we at least stay alive on this. Just like that. Alright, so this should be at least the last type of rotation here. And I think we're all good now. And I think just like that, we have made it to the second Elder that is here. And now we can go and pick up on another shard. And well, basically that now go and attach those two together. There we go, another key shard is here. And I think this is where we're going to go and end off the episode for today. So thank you guys so much for watching our way out here for Twilight Princess HD. See you guys in the next one. And of course, peace.